Really appreciate the crowd, the people that were there. It was a hot day. Appreciate them staying all the way to the very end. And really excited for Terrence Bud Crawford tonight. I want to wish him the best. So with that, we'll see what questions you have.
Was that your hope to just get 2 good quarters from your top unit today? And what would you say about those guys in the first half, how they performed?
Yeah, I mean, I legitimately go into every game like it's going to be a war. I think when you do that, you don't ever get in there and say, oh, shoot, I wasn't ready for a fist fight. So I was ready for a fist fight. But that being said, I'm happy that we were able to play those guys and then get to the half. We scored 38 points. Just not happy with the last drive on defense and the last drive on offense. The 2-minute drive, and that is something that we're going to need is the 2-minute offense. So we'll have to go back and look at that. But I thought beyond that, we were extremely efficient and tackled well. Looked like we were physical. We played the 2 defense and the second to last drive on defense. Put the whole group in, so we were able to get them in early, and that was really just as much just the heat. And we have good players on that group, so we need to get them to play. So a lot guys got to play a lot of snaps. TJ Lateef, I think that's a golden day for him, right? To be able to play that many snaps. Cortez Mills to make that big play, catch that many balls. Isaiah Mosey, all those guys. So it was good to get a lot of guys real reps. Like in the second half, coming out of the half. A lot of times, like last week, we put the ones in to start the second half, and this week I thought, what does TJ need? He needs to be sitting in the locker room. What are those guys? All those guys are in the 2s. They need to be sitting in the locker room, like, hey, I'm going in. Like, have that time to think about it. And then they had to go out and perform, and we got the stop on defense. Then we went down and scored on offense. So I was really happy to see that.
Man, I know that it wasn't perfect, the non-conference season.
It was. We were 3-0.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, on the field, but how happy are you about what progress you made about moving into the Big Ten season, where you guys are at?
Yeah, I think you take everything with like a grain of salt, right? Like, we haven't played the caliber teams we're going to play. But all you can do is measure yourself against, where you are and the standards that you have. I thought we played an excellent game. The first game in a lot of areas. There were some things that just, and some of those things are still showing up. Like the field goal on the first drive. And our ability to push the ball through the red zone and all that. So we're going to continue to have to get better. So I don't think it's great. I'm not a big, sometimes you hear me say the word like narratives and all that, but I think that's true for coaches. Coaches sometimes we have narratives. Oh, we're doing this well. Just take it, watch the tape. This is good. This isn't good. And then some things that look like they're good right now aren't going to be as good versus, a different opponent. So, you just have to keep reacting as the year goes on. I think we're obviously a significantly better team than we have been. But the road gets a lot harder. If we stay where we are right now, we won't win a lot of games moving forward. We have to improve. And so this was improvement from last week. I thought the week of preparation was excellent. I said that to you guys the other day. I said we'll have to wait and see how the game is. And I thought the focus on into Friday night wasn't always elite. After I had said that, it was kind of like, and it was really more young guys. And I thought the older guys, I have to single out guys like Sierra and Marquise and Deshaun and the whole O-line and Dylan, kept bringing it back to, hey, this is the standard that we have. And, I thought a lot of guys did a lot of really good things. So we have a long way to go, but, to be 3-0 and to play a Power 4 team and dominate the 2 teams we're supposed to dominate, that's all I can ask of the guys.
Is that what you thought Quentin Ives had to offer? Coming out of the spring, he was highly regarded. I know he had the setback in August, but is he now where you hoped he would be at the beginning?
Yeah, and I have to go back and watch a lot of it. The interesting thing is like in all 3 games, we've had the other teams have tackled us really low, and we don't tackle low. So I think we've had a hard time reacting to that. This week we did a lot of drills where we were ball security drills, punt return drills, where we're throwing bags at guys' feet, trying to simulate that. There's not a lot of low tackling teams in the Big Ten. And so I'm anxious to see how exactly, I'm going to watch this film here probably in about 10 minutes. I'm anxious to see how exactly all of that looked. But I thought you saw a lot of production out of him, out of Quinn, and I thought he caught the ball really well. And Quinn, unfortunately, he hurt his hamstring in the summer, came back and then hurt it again in camp. So he was stuck behind, a bunch of really good players. But, with Mosey having to go out to the slot, and he's kind of playing, they're kind of playing like that 2-back stuff with him. But so he's not full-time there anymore. Quentin's gotten an opportunity. And he's done a good job, and he gives us a big back and a big presence. So I'm anxious to see, him continue. But I think he's a starting caliber player in the Big Ten, and I've always felt that since he was a freshman. It's just been about, we've had some pretty good backs, and Ramir and Anthony Grant and a lot of guys, and so he's just had to wait his turn. And when he gets an opportunity right now, he's doing a nice job.
Was Makai Nelson available today, Coach?
Yeah, Makai was my decision. He was available to play. Makai's a wonderful young man, but we have some standards. But I had him available. I didn't pull him out. I was gonna, if we had a couple injuries, he was gonna play. But I wanted those other guys to play in front of him. And once the game was out of hand, there was no use putting him in there. But I would have played him if needed.
Coach Butler had talked about this week. I mean, he didn't really care about the shutout. It was more about playing to the standard. And obviously, you probably have to watch the tape a little bit. But did it just feel like on the field the defense played mostly to the standard today?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you score on defense and, you make them punt that many times, I think that's excellent. We had some times where, we had some soft coverage and we gave up some throws. I don't know how many yards they ended up with passing. So we missed three weeks in a row of under 100 yards passing. Sierra did a great job moving into the slot and playing the nickel, which let Donnie and Marshall go outside and start. And then Jameer came in and played well. So I thought, for the most part, a lot of those things looked good. You hate the one long run. We had him tackled in the backfield and they reversed out. If the guys trust the things that we say, when we might say track the near hip, I might say that more than I say go big red. And we didn't track the near hip, and so we got burned on it, and so that'll teach us something. But I thought the guys came out. I'm sure there'll be lots of things, when you pick the film apart. But for where we were and for the opponent we played, I thought they played pretty well. Looked like we tackled pretty well, and we got to the quarterback today, which is good.
Is this a situation where you're going to enjoy this one for 24 hours, or do you get a sense your team's really ready to flip the page to Big Ten?
Yeah, they were. I mean, Dylan was talking about doing his Sunday workout today. I asked the guys. I said, I told them enjoy it, but to show up tomorrow ready to go. And again, I want to make it very clear. It's not about any one opponent in the Big Ten. We're now in Big Ten play. We played 3 non-conference games. We're a proud member of the Big Ten, and it's a challenging conference with a tough schedule. We're going to play a lot of great teams. We have to show up every week and improve. I mean, the first thing we have to do is improve before we even get to the game. And so, I think the guys will be ready to go tomorrow, and we'll have another good week.
I know you expect Dane Key to produce plays, but how nice is it for him to have a 100-yard day kind of going into the Big Ten play?
Yeah, I mean, and last week, Isaiah got off early, and Dane really didn't get his first catch till late in the game. It's just kind of how, however the teams play you. I was really happy. There was a severe wind down there. I mean, it wasn't as severe as it can sometimes be, but to hit that deep ball into the wind, I thought was really, really important. And good to see Dane catch the ball and have the catch and run touchdown. So, we have a bunch of guys. Corey got off early, so we have a bunch of guys who can catch the ball and make plays. Good to see Tezzy, Cortez make a couple plays. So, and you see the way we're trying to play. Before the game was kind of decided, it's 3rd and 1. We take a shot. I'm trying to throw a post for a touchdown. They defended it, so we throw the outcut to Mills. So, I mean, I think I don't know if anyone will, but people should. I think they should appreciate the way the quarterback's playing, the way the receivers are playing. We're getting open and we're catching the ball. And, what was Dylan today? What was it? 15 of 21. We had to throw a couple away. So there's some things we have to improve upon. I hate the way our scramble drill looks right now. Like we have quarterbacks that are running around and no one's getting open. I was losing my mind on the sideline on that. So there's some things we have to continue to improve upon.
About that defensive touchdown, and how important is something like that in this grand scheme of things? And I did see it go up to William after just about the ball security, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, I yelled at him. And I told the guys at halftime, how great is this? We're up 38. And and I didn't yell like I did last week, right? But I walked in, I said, hey, guys, was the end of that half good enough? And they were like, no. And I said, how great is this? Like, we're down 38-0, and you guys aren't satisfied. Williams, I said, Williams, how many touchdowns you scored in your life? That's his first ever touchdown. That guy's one of the most amazing athletes I've ever seen. It's his first ever touchdown. And he's running off the field. He's looking at me. He's going, because, he the guy was running to punch the ball out. And I said, how great, how special is what we have? I don't know what the final record will be at the end of the year, but I love this team because they aren't just beholden to the results. They're like always trying to get better, and they understand, like, hey, there's a standard, and so if we don't do it, but I was proud of him. I was happy to see him score. I was happy to see all the different things that happened today, and we got another fumble. Derek Wacker looked like made a great play down there. I mean, Wacker's a really good football player. Wacker's a really good football player. So, there was kind of the concern I had too, just for the record, was that the walk-on program would die. The walk-on program might die with, the proliferation of the 105 roster and all that. And Derek Wacker, man, that thing's alive and well. He's starting on our kickoff return, and forces a fumble, and so he's an excellent football player. So it's good that we got a couple turnovers and scored on defense. We scored on defense last week, scored again on this week, and great teams score between 8 to 12 times, 11 times. I think the all-time mark here is 10 times. And so obviously that's really hard to do, but it was good to get one in there. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Sack to cause the touchdown.
What'd you shoot at Lost Room?
I don't remember. It was the first time I shot in the 90s in like the past year and a half, but we played like a 3v2 thing, so the end-up score, my personal score was way high, but our team score was a little lower.
On a better note, how good did that feel to cause that sack and the touchdown?
Yeah, it feels amazing just knowing that I'm out there. My guys are playing hard around me, and let me be able to make that play, and then hoping I can return that favor to them. Just, plays where it's not me making the play, it's one of them, that I'm doing my job as well. But, I think personally I haven't been too ecstatic with how I played the past 2 weeks. So just finally getting back out there and making a play just is a lot for me. Again, puts me in that right mindset just heading into next week in Big Ten play. Just you forget how good it feels to go out there and make a play like that. And it's something we've been talking about. Like, Coach Braden said it, and we got on the field today. We're warming up. Who's going to get the first one? Who's going to get the first one this game? And so just having a little inner competition between the team every game. Who's going to go out there and get the first one?
What did you see on that specifically?
On the play? Well, we had a little interior game going with me and Judy, and I was timing up the silent count because I knew when it was coming, but I had a feeling they were going to zone down, so I kind of had that open gap, and I was supposed to be the penetrator. So something we talk about all the time is just get off the ball, get vertical, and let things take care of itself. So try my best to shoot the gap, penetrate for Judy, who was wrapping me, and then I saw him go to the mesh, so I thought he was about to hand it off, and I was getting ready to tackle the dive, and then I saw him pull, not hand it off, pull it back, so I shot my shot, I guess. I went out there to try to make the play, and then I really didn't even know I knocked the ball out. I just heard everyone get loud, and then I turned around, and Will had it, and he was running for the end zone, so then I got happy.
Riley, with the new DC this year, new D-line coach, what's been your observation about the way that they have allowed you guys freedom up front to, play like two guys from the same position at the same time, players moving positions around on the inside? How have you seen that go through the first three games?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play in that style of defense. It's good because everyone in our room can play all across the line, and whether that's the nose, the tackle end, whatever it is. And then again, you have your 3 down, your 4 down stuff. So sometimes you're on the inside, sometimes you're on the outside. And I think Coach Braden just does an excellent job of teaching everyone. Like whenever he's talking to one person, he's talking to the whole room. When you're on the field, when you're in the film room, so it's like everyone's learning how to play every aspect of the game from the defensive line standpoint, no matter where it's at. But it's a lot of fun because you're not sitting there doing the same thing every time. You can, like I said before, you just kind of get to pin your ears back and go, and so that's been a lot of fun.
What's been at the? You said you weren't really happy with the first two games. What's been at the center of that, or what are you picking at yourself on?
Yeah, I think I just have very high expectations for myself, and I just Coach Roy always talks about we have a standard we play to, and when we turn the tape on, it's who do you want to be, and what's the standard you put out there. And I just don't think I've lived up to necessarily my standard, but I've lived up. And I wouldn't even say the team standard. And the biggest thing for me too was seeing the jump I made from week 1 to week 2. I feel like I had a lot better game last week, which that gives you a lot of confidence. But just looking back on that first game, it's in the back of my mind now. We moved on from it, but I remember watching the film after the fact, and I was just, I didn't like what I was seeing for myself. I knew I had better because I'd seen it before. So,
Zooming out, did you like what you saw from the room as a whole, the defensive line today, compared to what you saw in week 1 and week 2?
Yeah, I think from the defensive line and then to the whole defense, I think we're making jumps. And the good thing is we talked about it. We were up big at half, but we go in there and we weren't happy with how that last drive went. Similar to last week's drive before halftime, we just weren't happy with it. We know we got to play better as a defense. And so it's good to see things like that. Everyone upholding that standard of how we play and wanting to play to that standard. no matter the situation, no matter when in the game it is. But yeah, it's been amazing just to see the defense fly around and then get everyone in the game. See those guys who are on the scout team or whatever during the week just get out there and go make plays. I think that's been the most fun part.
Do you get a sense that the locker room, as fun as the last 2 weeks have been, that you guys are kind of ready to play a different kind of opponent in the Big Ten?
Yeah, we know that. Tomorrow we're going to be right back in here. We're going to watch this film. We're going to digest it and then move on. And it's on to Big Ten play. We're playing nameless, faceless opponents. It's not about who the team is. It's Big Ten play and it's conference play. So we're going to go out there and we want to go 1-0 each week. And we think Big Ten's the best football in the country. So we're going to go out there and we're going to play. Okay. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Questions?
What do you through your mind when you see the ball laying like that on the ground?
Pick it up, go to the end zone. That's really all it was. But yeah, really just pick it up, go to the end zone.
Is that really your first touchdown?
Yeah, if I can remember, like throughout my career, Little League, I don't think I scored. But I think that was my first one.
What did it feel like?
And it felt good, surreal. So yeah, it felt good. Great feeling,
Obviously, your hands are big enough to pick up the ball and just carry it like that, but Coach Rule probably wanted you to.
Yeah, most definitely. Like when I picked it up, I was really trying to get my balance, so that's why I was running like that. But yeah, definitely gotta make sure to tuck the ball away next time.
Just in terms of getting to the quarterback, just what was going right for you guys up front today?
And I feel like we was just doing what we were coached to do. We were emphasizing getting off the ball this week. Just playing fast. And that's really, I feel like we accomplished that.
Coach Rule and Riley were talking about how even though you're up 38-0 at the half, like there was some disappointment about the last drive before the half and stuff. Are you liking what you're seeing as far as just like guys having that kind of high standard?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because here we want to play to our standard. And, we have certain expectations, coaches and players. We have a certain expectation. So, when we feel like it's not meeting up to that standard, it definitely, doesn't sit right with us. So, yeah.
How glad were you when you crossed that goal line? Because he tried to punch the ball out and almost punched it out.
Yeah, like I knew I wasn't gonna get caught, So, but I was definitely happy, to score a touchdown. It's every D lineman's dream. So.
Did you know because you were looking at the screen or because you?
No, I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was just trying to get to I just had confidence in myself,
You felt it all. There's a little extra juice even in the locker room heading into Big Ten play now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like this is what we put in. All this work for it really. So we just ready to go show everybody, what we can do. Just excited.
Where have you come the furthest just getting this experience? Because you obviously didn't get this much playing time in your games at Missouri last year.
I'd say kind of maybe like the game just slowing down to me a little bit. As I just with game reps, I'd say it slows down. I get more comfortable on the field. It's just ball at the end of the day. So just really comfortable, like how I feel on the field, being comfortable.
For how close your defensive unit is, do you guys kind of take pride when you're playing maybe lesser opponents to kind of get everyone in and get reps on in games?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We wanna get everybody in the game. So everybody can feel like they contributed, and then also we can cheer our guys on too. So yeah.
Anything else for Will? Good job, man. Thanks.
So, appreciate y'all.
Dylan for a few minutes, then Dane will be here shortly.
Not a real long day for you. It's probably just a half of football. Coach Rule kind of joked that you're ready to do your Sunday workout today. How much has your focus already turned to what's to come?
Yeah. I mean, not just because of the opponent we're playing, but just because it's Big Ten play and it's time. The season starts right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna get it in and get it out today, and kind of watch this game and move on from it, and get a head start tonight and moving forward and keep moving. So, we're excited. We're grateful for the opportunity to play today, and glad we came out with the win.
Did you think of CJ's performance?
I thought he played lights out. I mean, I see 5 for 5, 126, and a touchdown to Cortez, which was beautiful. It's good to see that their connection is paying off. Their roommates super close, and it's cool to see that those guys connect on something special like that.
Quentin had a big day
Yeah.
today. Just how important was that for him just after everything he did?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to get him out there, get him running, get him breathing a little heavy, keep him in there, and it was good to see him run the ball, catch the ball, and do what he does with the ball in his hands. So I'm very proud of him. I thought he did a great job today.
Coach Rule got into you guys at halftime a little last week. Just what was his message to you guys at halftime today?
Yeah, it was the same thing. I mean, he didn't get on us. He didn't rip us. He just explained that you have a team like this. You guys know, like we came in and we didn't feel like it was our best half of football, and we just wanted to go back out there and kind of prove it that we can play better football. So, going back out there and those guys held up their end. So it was a successful win.
Coach Rule said he didn't like today how that scramble drill looked when you were getting kind of flushed out and around. Mm-hmm. How do you think you guys are going to work, and you especially going to work at trying to hone that in and make that better?
Yeah, it's just all it comes down to is effort. I mean, they know exactly what to do, and that's on me. I gotta stress that in practice. I gotta stress that in meetings with them. But it'll be addressed, it'll be fixed, and it won't be an issue moving forward. So, it was good it happened today, but we'll learn from it and get it fixed for next week and the weeks to come.
Going into your second Big Ten season, what do you think you've improved the most on from the Iowa game last year to today?
Overall understanding of the game, just the leadership part of it, trusting my guys to make plays, and honestly, it's kind of a joke, but I mean running the ball. I mean I feel comfortable enough to pull and run or get up and scramble and move around. So those are probably the biggest areas I can think of right now. I'm sure there's more, but. We're ready for the challenge, and it'll be full force coming in here on Saturday next week.
Last week, Ja'Cory had 100 yards, and Isaiah had a big day. This week, Dane goes over 100. Is that sort of this offense? It's going to switch week to week, you sense?
Yeah, it might. I mean, shoot, they might go for 100 each. Well, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen, right? But Dane showed up. In the hotel room last night, he's like, I'm going to have fun, and he's going to do what he does, and you saw that he caught the ball and he took off. So, I'm super proud of Dane, and I think we take it for granted, me and him, our relationship, just because we're always with each other. But to see him have that kind of success, don't take it lightly. It's hard work that he's put in.
2 games in a row, you haven't had Archie Wilson have to punt. Have you told him?
Yeah, I'm getting some hate for that. We put him in for victory formation, which was cool, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that one.
He was in for victory formation.
Yeah, he was. We got him a snap.
You guys have been so efficient, and yet whenever things don't go well, it usually is something that you guys did, not them. Is that encouraging? Especially like that field goal drive. I mean, you had a couple throws. I know you'd want that. Stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously it sucks. You want to score, but that's football, and that's what happens. So we'll get that fixed and make sure it doesn't happen again.
But how encouraged are you that your offense is running pretty smoothly, and yet there's still more out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's always more out there when you go back and look at it and pause it and we should have been here and we should have been there. But it all comes down to it. It's not going to show up as he messed up or he missed his guy and this. It's going to just show up as a missed touchdown or whatever it is. So whatever it is that we got to get fixed to make sure we get in the box, that's what we're going to do. But it is encouraging.
Dylan, how do you think your offensive line has played for the first 3 games?
I think they play lights out. I think they played up to a standard that hasn't been, at Nebraska for a while. So, shout out to them. I'm super proud of them. And, they're gonna just keep growing and keep getting better. So, they're gonna get. I'm glad they got out early today. Just it's a long season. So, for those guys to get in, handle their business, and get out, and it was good. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I got one thing.
Bud, shout out to my guy Bud. Let's go get it done tonight.
Watch the fight tonight.
It's disclosed. Thank you, guys.
Fourth career 100-yard receiving day for Dane today. Questions? On that touchdown throw to you, Dylan fitted in there pretty good, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, he's a really good quarterback. That's what he does.
When you, sorry, Dane, I apologize. When you transferred here, is this what you expected?
As in?
Like just 3-0 start, playing, having fun. Like, how has it been since you've been here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. Transferring in, like you said, this is kind of what I expected. Just playing with a bunch of guys that love football and just love to win. So I'm super excited to be a part of this and, can't wait to keep building.
How do you feel about the readiness of this team now to go into conference play?
Yeah, I feel like this team is really ready and really confident. Today we'll enjoy the win, but tomorrow is when we come in and we'll break down what we need to fix because there's a lot of things today that just weren't what it needed to be, and we got to fix a lot of things. But, I feel like this team will have a great week of preparation, and we'll come out really confident next week.
You've been through that grind of going into the SEC. From what you hear from teammates, guys who've been through it, what you've observed, what are your expectations now about the increase in the level of play from what you've seen as you go into the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to go out there and compete. This league's had, I think last year it had 4 people in the CFP, so I'm expecting for it to be a grind, just like the SEC was. So I just got to be ready and just trust my teammates that we'll all be ready and just get prepared. We all know that we're going into a gauntlet, so we got to get ready and, come ready to work every day.
You went over 2,000 career receiving yards through college. What does that mean to you, just the durability you've had to do that? A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here and accomplish that. So I'm super excited that was accomplished today. And, just got to keep building. That's in the past now, so just got to keep going.
You've had great games, but today, do you feel like this was like your moment? Like, all right, guys, you can expect this from me each and every week.
Yeah, 100%. I think the guys knew last week that I was frustrated with myself. I didn't really play how I wanted to play. But, it was still love throughout the building. So everybody knew that I was going to come ready to work this last week. So, that's the mindset that they're expecting for me to have this week going into this gauntlet, like I just said. So super excited to get out to practice tomorrow and, just start preparing for a big-time season.
What do you think of T.J. Lateef just getting all the work he got and how much he's grown as the number 2 quarterback?
Yeah, it was awesome to see T.J. go out there. Puts a lot of confidence in not only me, but I know the coaching staff's got a lot of confidence in the kid now because he goes out there, and when he goes out there, it's not like he skips a beat. He goes out there and makes plays. So it's awesome to see.
62-yard pass to Cortez.
Oh, I was super excited because at the beginning of the game, that was the same play that we called when I caught the ball. But just seeing Cortez go out there and TJ just catch him in stride. I think they're best friends. So they got that connection, and just see Cortez walk in the end zone was awesome to see.
How satisfied are you with the start as a team as a whole to finish this non-conference?
Yeah, super excited with what we have. But like I said, there's a lot to work on. We got to come ready this week to work, because we know like a lot of the little things that we messed up on these past 3 weeks, they won't fly next week or the weeks to come after that.
Anything else for Dane? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.